So I have finished drafting out the master bodice block, and I've started drafting out the bodice of the dress and figuring out how I want it to go. I tried marking out where I want the potential hemline to be. It's about like 5 centimetres above the waistline, because I'm quite conscious that there is a sash that needs to go around the waist as well, and that's also going to shorten how the bodice looks. So what I'm going to do at the minute is I'm going to make up the whole bodice block with the original waistline, and then in the fitting I'm going to draw on where I want the new waistline to be, because I don't want it to look weird, and I don't have a mannequin to work off just yet. I removed the dart on the back panel and put it into the side seam, but I've left the shoulder dart in because my model has quite rounded shoulders, so I think just for fitting purposes that would be better. I was hoping to not need darts at all to help make it look like the doll's clothes, because they are normally like a one piece thing. It's not often that you get darts in China, or at least China doll clothes. You don't often get darts just because it adds extra bulk, and that's obviously not something you want. But the human body does not work in the same way, and fabric does not work in the same way either. So I'm going to put I still need to put some sort of shaping in it somewhere. So for the front bodice panel, I have moved the dart at the shoulder and switched it around so it's at the bottom. So it's pointing towards the hemline now instead. And I have also started thinking about the apron bib. I think I want to have it. I want it to like curve round and then have the sort of like angular shape like in my illustration, my drawing, but it also has the added benefit that I can cover that dart, that bust dart, with the apron bib, so it looks like there isn't actually a dart there. I'm just trying to figure out how close I want it to be, because obviously the closer to the narrower the bottom hem of the bib is, the more sort of angular it will look, and the more it will look like what I want it to look like for the apron. But obviously if it's too far inwards, it's going to look very, very strange with the dart poking out underneath it. So I've sort of traced it out and opened it up so it's double, so it's not just like a half a bib front, just to give me a better idea of what it's going to look like. And I think I'm going to go like as close to the bust point as I can. I'm going to give like a few millimeters overlap though, just to give it like, just to make sure that it is actually doing what it needs to do. But yeah, so I'm not really sure what the next step is going to be. I think my calico is nearly dry, so I'm going to iron that and then try and get the bloomers cut out while I have the table space, and then I can make them up tomorrow when I'm done with my dissertation stuff, so I will have something ready for the fitting. In terms of the skirt, because it's going to be difficult to get an idea of what kind of ruffles, like how much fabric needs to go into the skirt, I think I need something for the fitting just to make sure that I have something so I can work out the length properly, but also it's going to be difficult to get a general idea of what it's going to look like when I don't have any petticoats or anything underneath. And I need to get on with making a decision about the fabric as well, the net, and getting that ordered, because the sooner I can get that done the better. But for now, I think I will just have some calico, even if it's just like a strip of calico. What I'm thinking is like the general rule for gathering is like 3 times the width to get the like fullest gathers, and I don't want it to be too bulky, but I'm going to go with that rule of thumb for now without the petticoat, so I might need some more calico, but if I have something then that will help. I can just sew that to some tape and then see how it looks, and if it looks too sort of enclosed around the hem, then I can add more fabric in, or I can shape the panels a bit better so that I can get more fabric in that hem. Yeah, so I think that is my current plan of action. I also had a few more thoughts about how the petticoat and the skirt are going to be sort of like suspended. I think, based on what I saw in the stores and like talking to a couple of people in class, I think the best thing to do would be to have the skirt attached to the bodice, and then have the petticoat inside, removable but suspended by button elastic loops. Because that way it's still removable. I don't have to worry about trying to do like a jersey top that's going to cause extra problems. It's not going to add extra layers of fabric which are going to potentially get uncomfortable for the wearer, and also
SpongeBob SquarePants thing. Who lives in a hole in the faraway tree?
Where was I? Damn it. So the petticoat will be attached to its own waistband. Not waistband, it'll have its own. It'll be a separate piece that will attach via buttons and elastic loops to the bodice, because then that way it's removable. If I need to, I can put extra sort of netting into the skirt at the hem, so that gives the skirt a little bit of boost, and then that means that it can be built into the dress but not be like overwhelmingly bulky. And also yeah,